And welcome to In the 661 Youth Voices for Kern, where we talk about issues facing our community, but particularly issues that are of interest, topical interest to the youth of our community. And Frank Ramirez is with Youth to Leaders. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
Of course. So tell me first and foremost about what your organization is and what it does.
Okay, so Youth to Leaders focuses on college access. So our mission statement is to unlock the power of a higher education. So we help out students, we help out parents, understand the whole process on how to access any level of higher education, whether it's a CTE certificate, a 2-year certificate, or a 4-year degree, or we even help them all the way to PhD if they like.
Wow.
But
okay.
the whole focus is unlocking the power of a higher education.
Do you think that conversation doesn't happen as often as it should in households across Kern County?
I think it does happen, but as far as at what level and at what level of detail, that's where the concern is. So that's where our experts in our office really work with parents and with students to dig deep into a lot of these topics.
Do you guys target families where the youth are kind of the first on that path? Their parents may not have gone to college. They might be the first to go to college in their family?
Yes. So
Okay.
that's our main focus is on first generation, economically disadvantaged, because those are the ones that usually have the odds are against them in regards to reaching a higher education. And not to mention if they get there, but college success.
And that's a lot to unbundle. So let's start with, because it is a complex process, right? If you use the word FAFSA, a lot of people probably don't know what that is, but it's really important if you want to go to college and want to have money to pay for it. Right?
Yes. So one of our big programs is called Cash for College, and we hold it every year in collaboration with all the major programs in town, Bakersfield College, Cal State Bakersfield, CalSOAP, Educational Talent Search, Superintendent of Schools. We all partner up and we go out into the community and help every high school student at every high school in Kern County complete their FAFSA. And with the FAFSA is needed for not just students that are economically disadvantaged, but also for any student, even if you're a millionaire, it's still recommended to do the FAFSA because you never know what you're eligible for until you submit that application.
You submit it. It's the free application for federal student aid.
Yes.
Right? Did I get that right?
Good job.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I did that, but it's kind of it's like filling out an IRS or a tax form. It's not the funnest thing to do, but I mean, like you were saying, they encourage everyone because that's how they determine financial need for a lot of the financial aid packages. Whether you're getting a scholarship, whether you're getting grants, whether you're getting loans, whatever it is, they encourage everybody to fill that out.
Yes.
And so if you miss the deadline, that's not a good thing.
Yes, because if you miss the March 2nd priority deadline in California, then automatically that knocks out the runnings for a lot of the California programs.
And the grants, and that you're losing out on that free money.
Yes, yeah.
So the kids need to know that they should, I mean, it's free money you're losing out on if you don't do it. Talk to me about the pipeline after they get into college and they're there. What are some of the challenges that you're finding students from Kern County are facing when they make that transition from high school and jump into college?
Yeah. So summer melt is the big one right now, where they have great plans right now in the springtime. Then over the summertime, they miss a deadline or something just doesn't work out, and that big plan of going to a certain university just falls through, and then they end up here back at Bakersfield College or a local option, which is great. It's not a bad thing. We encourage that. But it could, by that point, a lot of the classes are taken up. So, we're there to help students kind of reconvene and get all their requirements together and be able to meet, at least attend a college by the first day of school.
And then what about actually when they get to college? Because I've seen stories about that. Some kids, great success stories where you hear about students who are full scholarship ride, go from someplace and then struggle a lot to find their way, find their place when they get to USC or they get to Harvard or wherever they go.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the kids that we work with, they don't understand the basic mechanics of going to university. We're pushing a lot college access in the high schools, the high school counselors. Everybody does a great job about pushing the college access. Go to the college that's going to help you reach your goals. And then when they get there, they don't know about college success, which is navigating through the university, learning about office hours at a professor, knowing where the financial aid office is. One of the exercises that we do at our college readiness camps that we provide is we provide a miniature campus within this big auditorium where every major department of a university is represented there. And the kids go from department to department and they ask for, okay, what does this department do? And we talk to them, okay, we're the financial aid office, we give you your money, but you also got to tell us more information about yourself because the financial aid office is comparable to the IRS.
Right, suddenly you're an adult and you got to understand your finances and know where to get the resources. And I think the other challenge for a lot of students, I mean, I can speak to my personal experience in college, is you get to your first class and the structure is gone. The bell ringing morning at 8 o'clock, and you've got this first period, second period. You go to your classes, and then it's up to you to define your success. And that's got to be, I would imagine, a challenge for a lot of students.
It is. And when they get to the university or college campus, the parents don't have access to the records anymore. So it's up to the student to really become independent at that point.
And find the resources like you were talking about. Go seek the TA hours if if you're falling behind, you're not understanding stuff. What about immigration support? And tell me a little bit about that, because you guys offer that too.
Yes. So over the years, we've really focused on financial aid, on college admission, and helping parents understand this process. But then one thing surfaced was that parents and some students had some immigration issues. It became a popular concern for a lot of students. The Public Policy Institute of California research came out today that said that right now in California, 7 out of 10 families that are of Hispanic origin have some sort of concern of immigration in the schools. And so it's realistic out there. So we decided to start about 2 years ago to branch out and include immigration services as one of the services we provide. So we help students complete their DACA renewals, which they still can complete DACA renewals right now. Even though the policy is still up in the air, they can still renew their DACA. Right now we're doing it free of charge. They just have to pay their filing fees with the federal department.
And citizenship application process too.
Yeah. So we also offer assistance to help parents that are ready to become citizens, assistance in completing the application and the matriculation through that process.
So you guys offer those classes. This is the one coming up in Shafter, it looks like, in May?
So May 18th, Friday, May 18th, over at St. Teresa Church, we're hosting a workshop there where we'll be helping people complete their DACA renewals or doing citizenship pre-screenings to see if they're eligible to become a citizen. It's free of charge. All of it is free of charge there. We're there to provide assistance to families. So we'll also have a lawyer there that if their immigration concerns may need some legal assistance, so that lawyer will be providing free consultations to guide them through that process.
So tell me more about, because you guys offer citizenship classes and assistance. DACA is a controversial topic right now. There's a lot of questions about the program. What about financial aid for DACA eligible kids?
So as long as students are eligible for the California DREAM Act, which means that they completed 3 years in a California high school or equivalent, and then there's a few other requirements, but as long as they're eligible for that, meet that eligibility, then they're still eligible to receive state financial aid funds. And so a student, if they're DACA, and there's some students that haven't completed their DACA application that are just simply undocumented, but as long as they've completed 3 years of a high school on education or equivalency, then they may be eligible for some financial aid funds. They need to complete the California DREAM Act application. Even though the March 2nd deadline has passed, they're still accepting them, and there may be potential for funds just based on availability at this point. Once the application reaches the college or university, there's some funds, not just grants, there's also some loan programs that are subsidized that could also help them with their educational expenses.
Right. Well, thank you so much for joining us to tell us about all these resources.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
And thank you for joining us on In the 661 Youth Voices for Kern.